Week, during a portion of the service, I was back in the fellowship hall trying to head off a plumbing problem. You may remember we had the freeze coming, and so Dennis and Elaine had come up here and turned all the faucets on to drip a little bit, but I had neglected to ask them to turn off the ice maker. And when the ice maker makes ice, it just freezes enough to make the ice, then dumps it in the big bucket. But then as ice melts, it drains to the outside of the building. And of course, the pipe to the outside of the building froze too, which meant that as the ice maker was draining, it was coming out an overflow pipe and coming out the back of the ice maker on the floor. Now, we had a couple little containers there already from past experience to catch some of it, but I got back there really in the nick of time to avert a disaster. And so I gathered up some big buckets and I shoveled out 4 large containers of ice and carried them outside and dumped them out in pretty cold weather. And so we've got the ice maker plugged in again this morning, and there should be ice by the time we get back there. But we didn't get it properly turned on this morning. We had the wrong plug in the wall. So anyway, it should all be making. But in my absence last week, the pastor made an announcement that he was making me lead pastor, and I'd be responsible for scheduling the preaching. So I think his intent is that y'all can hear me a little more and he can listen a little more, but I'm not going to let him do that easily. My job has always been to keep him active in the ministry as long as I can, and that's still my intent. But I am excited to get started in the book of James again, because when I looked, September 26th last year was the last message we had from James, because then there were several Sundays that the pastor preached, and then we got into Thanksgiving and New Year's, and